Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is up? Oops, let's turn off mute. There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is up, folks? How's everybody doing? JT here with another Xtrades FOMO live stream. It is April 29th, 2025. Hope everybody is doing well. Let me get over to the live stream chat. All right, that looks good. What's up, new trader? Good to see you here bright and early. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's see. ES charts, good to go. What's up, LB? Good to see you in the mix. Hope you're doing well. Got some folks over here on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. What's up, Ryan? Hope you're doing good, my friend. All right. So, as we always do here on the FOMO live streams, we're going to talk a little bit about what we're seeing kind of just in the markets in general. We'll do that through the lens of S&P futures. What's up, Navy Plum? Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. So we're going to take a look at kind of what we're seeing just from an overall technicals perspective on the market. We'll get through some trade plan recaps, and then we'll work on some new trade plans bright and early this morning. So we'll have some fresh ideas to work with and make some money on as we continue through the week, through the end of April and into the first part of May. First third of the year already behind us. Seems like it's really kind of been dragging on this year. All right. So taking a look at things here from an ES perspective, let's dig in. We are right up against it, folks. I mean, we are here at kind of the tipping point of potentially trying to flip things toward a more sustained and perhaps prolonged recovery from a lot of this tariff sell-off. I will be personally a little bit surprised if we do continue through here and push higher without getting a pullback. I say that mostly because so far earnings reports kind of have not been great, and nothing has really changed. The needle has not moved with regards to the trade war that the United States decided to kick off at the beginning of this year. So, nothing has really changed fundamentally. I think maybe the one thing that has shifted is the market has kind of maybe decided to tune some of that noise out and just say, market's going to do what market's going to do, regardless of some of the political noise that's happening. That could be a factor in what we're seeing here, but we are right up against it. Like I said, we've talked about this 55.61 level, both on the way down where we caught that double bottom back here in March. We're looking at that same level now, what was strong support now clearly acting as really strong resistance here. We also have kind of the two overarching bigger picture, and really kind of for me, it's a little bit more now this flatter trend line. It's a very clean trend here on the daily chart. We're just now starting to get some wicks to print above it, but no candles closing above yet, so it's still very valid. This candle's trying to push up, so today could be a really kind of a key gauge or a really good opportunity for us to try to figure out if we are going to continue up and out of this quagmire that we're currently in, or are we going to get the rejection? Does resistance hold and ultimately cause us to pull back? If we do pull back, I think a break below 54.78 would be a good sign that we are going to continue down further and probably continue down far enough to finish filling this gap to the downside here on futures. It is still open, takes us down to about 53.07, and then that kind of momentum could potentially push us down even more rapidly, especially if we're going to maintain this rather steep downtrend that we've been under. So we are right up against it. Like I said, I am still holding. I don't think anybody asked yesterday, but I got a couple of questions last week about whether or not I was still holding those 540 puts. That's kind of a protective play. Now that we've kind of gotten this big move up and we're back into this confluence of resistance, I think it's a very smart place to go ahead and have that downside protection in place on our portfolios. So I am still holding my 540p for May 30th. And again, our plan for that has been, if we get a break back above 55.61, we'll cut them, right? We've got a plan in place. It's not you know, a blind trade, but it is a protective and kind of an anticipatory trade where we're getting in before we've really seen kind of a clear rejection. So, you know, I'm okay with that. And I think, you know, if this resistance holds, the pullback's going to be swift and steep, and those 540 puts will start to print very rapidly. So, you know, keep an eye on things. Again, I'm keeping my downside protection in place until we technically break out of what is this key resistance. Again, we've had this level on watch for months now. We've been absolutely spot on with it. We saw the break below, back test rejected us lower there. We're right up against it again. Clean resistance there, and again, seeing some liquidity grabs overhead. So these could be some bigger picture bull traps, liquidity grabs that scoop up some money before we make that move back toward the downside. So again, just stay on your toes. Technicals would say, you know, while we have had a nice strong rally and recovery over the last several trading sessions, that we are kind of, you know, that's kind of easy range, lots of volatility in there to buy up and down through. Now that we're at a spot where it really matters what's happening, we're stalling out, right? So I think that is important to keep in mind as we decide how we want to move forward with our trades and our bias, and you know, whether or not we start to maybe scale out on some shares that you were scooping up along the way as kind of good value buy opportunities. Maybe you've got, oh, easy, let me get this coffee in. Maybe you've gotten some good returns on those already. Go ahead and take at least some profits or all your profits. I think we'll see a chance to reload a lot of those positions coming up. Just my personal take. But again, we got to play the technicals. And right now, technicals are again at an inflection point. As long as we stay below it, I think the trend is our friend, and we're looking for another move to the downside. So keep that in mind and on watch. So let's get to some trade plan recaps, and then we'll get to some new ticker requests. I see Tony's in the mix already with Apple. So we'll take a look at Apple here in just a minute. Let me get some of this coffee. All right. So member selected trade plans from over the weekend. We had Google so far. Google's been, excuse me, I swallowed that coffee wrong. So Google has been overall kind of flat sideways. It's continued to pull back after that earnings report that they released. It's not pretty much. It's given back all the gains now at this point. I mean, it created a big fair value gap that has since filled with that move to the downside there yesterday. Is trying to ride this SMA trend to the upside, it appears, although struggling a little bit with the 200 SMA as resistance with it overhead. Neptune still bigger picture, leaning bearish here on the 15-minute. Let's take a look at this on the hourly as well. Zoom out a little bit. SMCI, sure, we'll take a look at that. LB, happy to take a look at it. Here on the hourly, it's caught the dip right where it should have caught, actually. I mean, really beautiful bounce right there off of the key buying pressure there on NTS. That being said, short signal, still overall bearish momentum pushing through that buying pressure. So, Google's an interesting one to keep on watch, especially if it could hold 160.04. I think if we start to see slippage there, it probably will get close to, if not retesting yesterday's low. Excuse me. Retesting 158.10 and potentially pulling back further. So keep an eye on Google, but so far no confirmed entries there yet. Hims announced a partnership with somebody this morning. Massive move on this one. Of course, I was like eyeballing and just got busy and never pulled the trigger on buying shares on this yesterday. I feel like this has happened to me like a few times lately where, and again, it's not something you would ever know about. There's no catalyst there. But I was watching it for a good pullback after kind of seeing that pump in the morning yesterday. We got it pulled back right here to the 333 SMA. This is one that we talk about a lot. One that all of you should have on your charts now at this point. I've even given access to my ultimate moving averages indicator for people who kind of want a better tool for leveraging SMAs on their charts. So, there's really no excuse not to have something like 333 SMA on your charts. It's easy to watch, free of charge, all that good stuff. So 333, again, found that as support, and then HIMS with this big move this morning on that partnership announcement. I think it was with somebody NVO. I don't really know who that is off the top of my head. They just got downgraded. That TD Cowen's eating some crow this morning. Nova. Oh, Novo. That's like Novo Nordisk or something like that, I think. But yeah, they've got a partnership with them. Apparently, I don't know the details of it. I just caught kind of a general headline from the chat as I was getting ready for the live stream this morning. So HIMS, all price targets hit. Did give us a confirmed break above, although it was right out of the gate. Let me get back to that spot. Pre-market already up above there. So, again, looking for these confluence type entries here. We've got it on the 200 on the 15-minute, 333 on the hourly, both sitting right there at the same spot, catching that support and pushing HIMS back to the upside here. So overall, gave us a confirmed push to the bullish side of things. We just wait for those pullback opportunities, and now it's clearly blown all of our price targets away and then some to the upside. So good stuff there on HIMS. What's up, King Alpha ASTS? We'll try to take a look at that. We've got 2 tickers already in the queue, but sometimes we can push through these quick and get through them and get 3 done in a morning as far as trade plans go. So I'll try to speed things up. SoFi with great earnings this morning. I'm personally a SoFi shareholder. This one's pushing back to the upside at 14 plus 9% move there on a really good earnings beat this morning. SoFi did give us a break above, back test opportunity, stop loss average down, perfect confluence with Neptune there. So that kind of that's the confidence confluence, if you will, where you've got your key level and the key buying pressure on NTS. I feel good about taking a shot there and adding to the position down there, knowing I'll cut just below. Overall, that played out to the upside. Now, you would have had to have been ballsy enough to swing through earnings. Again, that's not something I generally recommend anybody does with options. I'm not sure the correct grammar for that. Yeah, if you're trading shares or if you did take options, congrats. I don't know what the implied move was for SoFi, so I'd be surprised if it was still within the IV crush range, but SoFi is a little bit more volatile, lower dollar ticker, lower market cap ticker, so it certainly could be one that did have a larger implied move for earnings, but we'll see. If you're in SoFi shares, though, you're doing great. Congratulations. All right, Wingstop. This one was Tony. Was this one of your requests? I think this one we did again over. No, I'm sorry. This was what? This is last Tuesday's live stream. Sorry, last Tuesday's live stream. We did this one. I think this was for Wingstop. Was that not you? Who asked for Wingstop? Or maybe it was Ryan over on YouTube. I feel like somebody asked me. Somebody who's a regular asked me for the Wingstop trade plan. Okay, never mind. Somebody who's here on the regular asked me for this Wingstop trade plan. I forget who it was. But Wingstop played out really nicely. Okay, we'll take a look at Apple for you, I promise. In fact, we've got our existing trade plan on it, so it's already in the queue. So Wingstop did play to the upside here on the 15-minute. Again, 333. We've already seen this one. On one trade plan, 200 SMA. These were inverted, so really nice rejection there off that 333, but ultimately breaking to the upside, holding the overall bullish line here and pushing for all price targets to the upside and then some, and now looking like it's trying to carve out some higher lows with this move up on NTS. So keep an eye on Wingstop to potentially continue, but this one has played out, all upside targets hit, no stops. Congrats. Carvana, this one was another one we did on last Tuesday's live stream. This one, again, pretty much right after we planned it, broke out to the upside. All price targets hit, even came for a back test of PT3 before continuing higher. So Carvana looking solid, continuing to grind to the upside. Boeing, last Thursday's live stream, I think we did this one. This one broke out to the upside there Friday. Into last week, gave us the break to the upside, tap PT1, pull back. I don't really love Wingstop to be honest with you. Our fries and tenders. Well, fries are key, man. I'll go to a place for really good French fries. But Boeing PT1 hit. It has continued up from there, kind of following the market to the upside PT2 and trying to grind even higher still on Boeing. So nice trade plan there. That's another one in the green column. And then Apple, last but not least, no confirmed breaks on this one yet. In fact, with Tony, I'd say let's stick with this kind of plan that we have in place. I don't. Let's see if we could maybe change or adjust maybe the put entry with it kind of being a little bit further off. There could be some different downside windows of opportunity, but this one has not given us any key confirmed breaks of the call entry or the put entry since we planned it, which would have been, see, that's Thursday, so would have been pre-market here this day, so we don't lose track of that. So yeah, no confirmed break so far, but the one thing that I like the upside trade plan exactly where it's at. I don't see any need to change that. We just have to be patient. Question is, this is an interesting flip of support and resistance here. Maybe there's something more to this where we could have a potentially earlier put entry somewhere around one of these levels, but let's confirm. We're not in a rush. Patience pays. This is gonna, well, let's see. I don't get it on this dip through here. I'm just looking for any kind of additional price data in this range, preferably right around this spot that I'm already looking at. Yeah, I could see there being a potential put entry there. Be quite honest. Let's throw our levels back on. Got those hidden at the moment, so that may give me something that's already established. No. It does look like a really good level, though. The one that I didn't have. Oh, wait, no, I did have one right there. I just didn't see it. 206.60. Maybe just a little tiny bit lower there on 206.60. 206.24. See how that stacks up with where I was looking back here. Yeah, that's pretty close to what I was kind of eyeballing. So what I think we could do, we wanted to adjust this Apple downside trade plan. Make that our put entry. Share stop with the call side of this trade plan. First target 201. It could be either of these levels, to be perfectly honest with you. It's gonna be, yeah, I'm gonna go one level, play it a little bit more conservatively. So we'll adjust that sorry. That looks like it's gonna be about probably right on, maybe a little bit better than a 1-to-1 risk reward. Second target. Yeah, I'd go ahead. Again, this is another one where I think it could go a level lower, but let's be smart about taking profit on the way down. So I would use that 198.77 as a PT2. PT3. Yeah, it takes us down to 194.72. So we could make a slight adjustment to this plan, but not a massive shift. Or, well, really just kind of on the put side. It's a pretty decently different plan, but just one side needs adjusting. I think that upside, stay patient, wait for it to play out. All right, 206.24 on down to 202.79, and then 198.77, and 194.72. Oh no, I messed that up, didn't I? Hang on. No, I think it's just that stop loss average down that screwed me up. Sorry. Yeah, no, that's where I want those levels at. So stop loss average down at 209.65. This would be a shared actually. Better. That looks right. Yeah, right at a 1-to-1 risk reward on the downside, at least getting started. So this is one where I would say start small, average up. If we get a break below 202.79, that's where the bigger downside opportunity really opens up, in my opinion. So yeah, I like that adjusted trade plan. So let's hide this. Don't need that extra line on the chart. Let's go ahead and get this locked in. Let me go ahead and save this to Tuesday live stream 1. Let's get this posted in the chats. Here. Copy our message link, get our new Apple trade plan. I'm gonna actually, we don't wind up with a bunch of bad signals there. Delete that existing Apple alert. Let's get in here, trade plan pilot, get our Discord link set up, read our regular trading hours. This is actually going to be May 6th. All right, so what are we looking for here on Apple? We're looking for a break above 215.02. So same plan as we've already had in place. That should give us a move up to 223.57, 228, and 233.37 with a stop loss average down at 209.65 to the downside. Looking for a break below 206.24 with price target 1 at 202.79, 197.77 PT2, and 194.72 for PT3. Shared stop loss average down there at 209.65. Those are your Apple upside and downside trade plans. Keep an eye on it. Alerts will go to the chat. You'll be ready to go. All right, what was next on our list? Oh, actually, coin we didn't get to, but this was also from last Thursday. It's a live stream. Nothing's happened with it. As far as, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. Did give us the break to the upside, got very close to PT1. I wouldn't even call that a hit. Sorry, I was thinking about something else there for a second. Yeah, that's right. This gave us the break to the upside, came just shy of that PT1, and then dumped hard through the stop loss. So this one, I would probably call it a stop out or a miss. Again, if you moved your stops up and got stopped out at break even on this one, smart conservative trading there. But overall, from a trade plan perspective, this one I would say got stopped out, did not hit the price target before that happened. So, yeah, is what it is. Nobody bats 1,000 in the world of options trading. So we are doing great so far. All right. Next was SMCI. So let's take a look at that. So let's just do this as a new chart. I don't lose the existing trade plans that I want to keep track of. What am I doing? Playbook, SMCI. All right, for LB. All right, so let's see. I don't need all this stuff. That's old. Sure, that's old. That's old. Let me just clean this up real quick. Yeah. All right. So, SMCI clearly button right up against a daily resistance. Multiple tests of it there so far at 37.71. Very close to where we have found support for moves to the upside. So I think we're already on to something here. I will say the upside moves do look a little healthier over a little bit more. Yeah, there's kind of a little uh, grouping of support and resistances kind of all in this little cluster here. But I think that that clears out, and upside really does look pretty solid over this, what is that, 38.21 level. I think that that gives us for a good call entry. First target. Yeah, let's be prudent. I think it could go all the way for 40.77. Instead of being greedy, let's just use both of these levels. There's a decent little move there. I mean, $1 on something trading under 100 is a pretty decent continuation move. I think smart to go ahead and take profits there as well. Third price target. Yeah, it's sitting right about here at 41.86. Could, though, think about this. Help me out here a little bit. Price action. Yeah, I think there's a level pretty close. It may not be as spot on as every level I've ever done, but right around 42.68. Hmm. Sorry, I'm thinking about this real quick. You know what? Let's take a shot, especially with two early profit takes. I think there's a chance at it getting to 42.68. It's a little bit of a stretch, another 82 cents, but I think it's a risk worth taking. I'm not scaling out totally perfectly, but perfect is not the goal. Profit is the goal, right? I'm gonna add that to my list of trading nuggets of wisdom. We're looking for profits, not perfection. How about that? That sounds a little better. All right, stop loss, average down. I'm kind of, yeah, just somewhere right around where this pre-market price is hanging out. Just right on it almost. Yeah, it really is kind of right there. Uh, Yeah, probably right about, gosh, sorry. I'm really splitting hairs here, but I don't want this to get stopped out early because I think it is a good trade plan. You know what? It could be just a tad lower now that I'm thinking about this a little bit differently. Yeah, I'd give it right up, yeah, that's pretty much right on. That being said, again, another one where risk reward looks very even. Get to that PT1. And in fact, this one is one that I'd probably wait for PT2 to break. To scale out, maybe we get a PT2 back to PT1, average up and add back in for a move up to PT3. I could certainly see something like that playing out. But that's how I would look to trade this one upside, downside. Let's take a look at this. Definitely put entry right. Yeah, kind of already eyeballing this as I was, excuse me, looking at our upside trade plan. Excuse me. Get some more coffee in. I think that gives us a move down to about 3308. A little bit of a bigger initial window of opportunity to the downside. At this level, it'd be maybe just a little right there. Yeah, I'm still okay with that. And with that slight adjustment, that's a PT2. PT3, we do have a bigger picture weekly level. Needs a slight little tiny adjustment there. I think that makes for a good third price target. All right, so let's lock this in. We've got our plan in place. 38.21 on up to 39.77 and 40.77 on 42.68 with a stop loss at 36. Whoops. 75. Put entry at 35.29. 33.08, 31.73, and 29.99. Might as well just make that 30 flat, right? With a stop loss average down, shared with the upside at 36.75. Although this is really where I need to put that. All right, so let's throw these on. Let's see if this changes my opinion about anything. Kind of does a little bit actually with that. Let's turn this on. We'll be at 1 to 1, 1.5 to 1. Let me take a look at this real quick. I'm gonna maybe make a slight adjustment here. Right at like just barely below. But that adjustment here, okay. This is gonna be a tricky one to the downside. I don't really love the setup to the downside, so all of those caveats out of the way. I think we actually could make some adjustments to this. And it's going to look like this now. Be very, very careful, again, on the downside. Starting out, start very small. Essentially, we are right at the cusp of 1 to 1 just below. So I really, again, don't love that. But I don't, we've got that confluence right there with NTS. I don't want to go shooting too low on that downside move and not hit any price, or wind up holding too long and missing at least an early exit. I guess the only other question is there any other stop loss that we could adjust without getting stopped out? kind of prematurely. Did look at this level at 36.21. I don't know. 36.30. I think we're splitting hairs. I think if it winds up being a rough entry, then that stop loss average down could actually be a really great spot to add and bring it up to a full size position and look for the rejection play, because then you do have a pretty decent risk reward window coming back down. So just keep that stuff in mind. Again, this one's not just the way the support and resistances are stacked up. It just doesn't really favor the downside all that much. Also, did I grab a wrong level down here? Yeah, you need to be out at that higher level. Hang on. Just noticed that. Did I not have a level there? Oh, no. Okay, yeah, that's right. No, I take that. Well, it really could be either of those, couldn't it? All right. I'm not. We're at PT3. We're going to let it stretch a little. Make sure that you're moving your stops up, all that good stuff. All right, so let's get this locked in, and then let's get to what was the last one? ASTS for King Alpha. ASTS is a name that I actually like. Current shareholder. Been in that one for a while. All right, let's go. What's up, Sam? Good morning. I just saw your message. Sorry about that. Was neck deep in trading this SMCI or setting up this SMCI live stream plan. Let's get this over in its watch list. And link. Get the template. And this is SMCI Tuesday live stream 2. All right, so what are we looking for here on SMCI? We're looking for a break above 38.21. That should give us upside targets at 39, 77, 40, 77, and 42.68 with a stop loss average down at 36.75. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 35.29. That should bring downside targets at 33.88, 32.42, and 29.99. Remember to start very small on this downside trade plan. Find opportunities to scale into it, whether that be averaging down or up. But be very careful, risk reward not super favorable, at least starting out. And that's just kind of how it's set up. So a lot of times I say just avoid those trade plans altogether, wait for another setup or plan, just be patient. There are plenty of other opportunities for us to pursue that don't require a bad risk reward setup. So don't force it. If it's not there, don't force it, right? All right, so last but not least, we had a request for ASTS. Let's take a look at that. Let's see if we can't fly through that here in the next 5 minutes. That'll give me time to get the SPY plan together and published an alert set for it. Fortunately, ASTS is one that do have some existing planning for. All right. What are we looking at here? ASTS 200 just crossed above 333, starting to curl up, trying to get bullish buying pressure and momentum, long signal. Overall, ASTS is starting to look pretty healthy in a market that is getting very sick. is a level right here. I don't have yet clearly established it on the way down here though. This one I'm gonna go back and look at later just to confirm it. I don't have time to do that right now, but do that with both of these levels actually. I think that makes for a good PT1 and call entry. PT2. Or a little higher. Let's see. I think it is. There. Good. It could be that my 2889 level there is just a little bit off. But again, I'll go back and confirm these levels when I have more time. PT3 weekly target here. All right, I like those targets. Stop loss. Yeah. Right there at 2464 looks like decent risk reward. Getting things going to the upside there. Downside, I definitely would want to see a break below 2207 before that starts to get interesting at all. I think I've got this level may have shifted some. Yeah, right about there. And with that, like that, whoops, like that. It's our stop loss average down for this downside trade plan. I like this 2048 hourly level. No, sorry, 4-hour level. There. 2048. It's gonna be a quick PT1 too, but I think that's called for given where these supports are stacked up. PT3 possibility for it to dip a little bit lower, but let's go ahead and plan on being all out there at 1811. All right, did it in 3 minutes. How about that? So let's plug in our levels real quick. 601, 2761, 2918, and 3061 with a stop loss at 2464, downside 2207 to 2048, 1947, 1811 with an average down at 2336. No shared stop loss average down on this one. Clean this up. Tighten that up just a little bit. It's better? Okay, cool. Let's go. So here is our ASTS live stream plan. We got 3 in this morning. Not bad for a Tuesday. And morning live stream. Let's get it posted in a watch list. Let's get our link. Our template. Tuesday live stream plan 3. Doing that. Regular trading hours. Create our alert. All right, this is our ASTS Tuesday live stream plan 3. All right, so what are we looking for here on ASTS Space Mobile? We are looking for a break above 2601. That should bring targets at 2761, 2918, and 3061. Stop loss average down at 2464 to the downside. Looking for a break below 2207. That should bring targets at 2048, 1947, and 1811 with a stop loss average down at 2336. That is your ASTS live stream plan. This is your FOMO live stream plan for Tuesday, April the 29th. As we always say here on the FOMO live streams, plan your trades, trade your plans. What was the new one? We're looking for profits, not perfection. We're looking for profits, not for perfection. So keep your wins big, keep your losses small. Go out there, get some green, secure those bags. Don't get caught holding them. And most importantly, have a fantastic day. We will be back Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please come back, tell your friends, bring them with you. We are free for viewing these and participating on YouTube. Can I get NVIDIA analysis from Lamar? Lamar, you are catching me right as I'm wrapping up the show, man, but I will give you a very quick take on NVIDIA. Needs to clear interesting flip-flop in here. I want to take a look at that video. I can write that down real quick. I think that's a time frame adjustment I need to make for our I think for NVIDIA to really, I think there's a window of opportunity, I'll say that, from 115.57 up to 120.07, maybe even a little bit higher, actually, up to about 121.21. I have a stop loss average down there at 111.62, 333 SMA, coming up with some confluence there. Overall, though, this one's leaning a bit bearish. Downside, I would say, really opens up, gets going below 103.89. So that's just a quick analysis. Sorry I wasn't able to get more on that, but you gave me like 2 minutes to work with. So all right, so like I said, folks, thank you for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Come back Thursday, whether it be in Discord or on YouTube. I'm going to go get the SPY plan put together. That is our daily money maker. I'll get that published in the options watch list here shortly. As always, you all take care. I will be back Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.